figure fans? It's the one and only Optibotimus coming at you with another video review. And on today's episode, we're going to be taking a look at the new Hot Toys VGM 27 of the Joker from Batman Arkham Asylum. If you'd like to pick him up or any other Hot Toy figures, you can do so right now at Sideshow Collectibles. For the packaging, this is the front of the box. This is the back of the box, and then it has a magnetic open, so when you flip open this section, you can open it all the way up, revealing the cast and crew responsible for making the figure, as well as an open clamshell that fully showcases the figure, as well as all of his accessories. But for the packaging on this guy, that's about it. So without further ado, let's get him out here and see how cool he actually is. Alright guys, so here we have the Joker from Batman Arkham Asylum opened up and out of its packaging. And much like all Hot Toy figures, you do get the instruction sheet. Not really much in here. You do have a kind of instructional image on how to put on his sunglasses, how to be careful of the little piece of hair on his head, that the hair on his head is fairly sharp and that his little corsage thing is not removable. On the back it shows how to attach the handcuffs and then various other warnings. So not a ton of stuff, but as always, you do want to make sure you go through it just to make sure that you're not doing anything that you shouldn't be doing. Now coming down here to take a look at his accessories. And in addition to the two fairly relaxed hands that are currently on him, he also comes with a pair of fisted hands that are done up in the same purple glove kind of look that the open ones are, but they're just done up as fists. And then he comes with two right hands. One's designed more specifically to hold his pistol, whereas the other one here is more designed to hold the injection gun. You can see that the fingers are slightly positioned differently, most notably the index finger and then the middle finger here. And I'll show how to use that here in a bit. And then in case anything does happen to the wrist pegs that are currently on him, you do, as normal, get the extra pair just like that. As I was talking about with the different guns, he comes with a revolver, which is really very nice. The coloring on this is spectacular. You can really see, especially here, a nice rainbow effect, giving it a very realistic metal sort of look to it. Now, it is made out of plastic, but the paint detail, I mean, the way that they were able to get that just is absolutely gorgeous. You can see it's a slightly bigger barrel. I don't think, I can't force this. This little bit here does move. I don't know if that moves, but usually the little barrel thingy here is able to pop out, but I'm not going to force it or anything of that nature. But you can see a very large area for the fingers, so that's where this hand comes into play. You just kind of wedge this around, and then you put kind of both of those fingers in there so that, I guess, he pulls the trigger with both of his fingers, but you see that it fits in there fairly decently, which does look good. Really quite impressed with that handgun. And then he also does come with the Titan Injector. As you can see, very nicely detailed. You got the little warning stripes around here. You got the green section here, which kind of denotes the Titan fluid itself. And then you can see that it basically is like a little injector gun. And then you can use this finger, or this hand, which has one finger that's perfectly designed for fitting in there. You can see that the other two fingers kind of fit around the little handle area, so you have him able to hold it really nicely like that. Now, he also does come with three of these very tiny little darts. I don't know how close I'm going to be able to get into this because they are very tiny, and it's probably going to get very blurry. I don't know how close I can get that, but actually that's pretty good. You can see really good detail on there, and again, you got that kind of fluid-ish. Yeah, it's not gonna focus on it. Almost you can kind of see it on the inside. There's a little bubble, which I do dig. It kind of nicely, I don't know if they meant to do it like that or if it was just the way that the injection was, but it kind of makes it look like there's an air bubble in there from liquid. One thing that I will say is that it is pretty pointy, so be careful with that. But what's cool, and like I said, you do get three of these, and they can actually fit on the inside there. So I guess I could have stayed in a little bit more, but you can see then it sticks out, and then you have the little dart that can remove very nicely. So very, very nice detail. And as I said, you do get a total of 3 of them. They are very tiny though, so again, be very careful with these so that, you know, if it stays focused, so you don't lose these. They're gorgeous little tiny pieces, but very nice, and I love having those to go along with the injection gun itself. And then get this out of there, you just put that off to the side. He also does come with a chattering teeth, which, as you can see, has little feet on it, and dynamite on the inside as well. Really great detail on this, is as you would expect. You got the little windy gimmick, which does rotate, which is hilariously awesome. You got the little dynamite in there, looks like wood, really nice. You got the little red stripe through there. The chattering teeth themselves look really good. Do those actually, oh my gosh, those actually are, I don't know if they're meant to do this, but they do flex a little from the dynamite itself. It looks like there's a hinge there, but I'm not going to play with it that much. But you do have that, which looks great. These little things, if you played the game, you know these things were kind of a pain in the butt, because one of the little sub games was to destroy all of these, and there was a lot. Let's just say that. He also does come with a pair of handcuffs. The chain is metal. This is plastic, but they can open up. It's, let's see, which, there we go. Both sides open, and you can put them on him to kind of replicate how it looked towards the beginning of the game, I guess, when he was a prisoner of sorts. So you do have that. You also have his glasses, which can go on his head. I'll show how to do that here. I mean, literally just hook them over the ears, but the little weird things right there. So you do have that. Again, it's something from the game. It's not something that I'm going to use as a display, but it is there. Now, coming up to take a look at the bigger accessories, much like most Hot Toy figures, you do get the display stand. It's got the nice Batman Arkham Asylum logo. You can see the Joker there in the background. What's interesting is this kind of looks like the building that he was in Arkham City, though. It's kind of hard to tell, but it's there. And then it says the Joker. You got the Batman logo. You have the adjustable cradle right here, so you can use that. And then you do have the large background, which is, I love these. I love it when they include these. They're cardboard pieces, but really nice heavy cardstock. You got little stands for them here and on the other side as well. And then you can see Arkham Asylum with the background, and it's like the little entry gate. Yeah, you got some lights. Kind of looks like maybe the Batman logo is up there. So again, you can do something like that. Put that on there and do a nice display like that. Oh, my camera is not centered. So you do have that, which does really look very cool. I absolutely love when they include this. I wish it was a little bit bigger, but it does add a nice display option for your figures. So for his accessories, that's everything. A fair amount, to be totally honest. Granted, some of them are really tiny, but I still think you get a pretty good amount of accessories for this figure. Now, coming in to take a closer look at the figure, and starting off first with the portrait, this is phenomenal. The Joker is such an iconic character, and one of the most memorable kind of recreations of the character is through the Arkham video game series, specifically in Arkham Asylum and even Arkham City, in which the Joker was beautifully recreated by Mark Hamill. I know a lot of people sit there and say that Jack Nicholson is my Joker or Heath Ledger is my Joker. A lot of people grew up with Mark Hamill in the Batman animated series doing the voice of Joker, and that carried over to this, and it really did help to sell the character. And looking at this likeness, absolutely incredible. The hair, you can see, very nice shade of green. This is the little piece that you want to be careful about. It is separate, and it does kind of come away from the body, so do be careful with that. But great detail with the hair. You got some nice wrinkles through his forehead. Hopefully you're able to see it, because I know it's white on white, but the texturing in detail is phenomenal. You look at the mouth with a big giant grin. His face is very like slender, comes down to a very pointy chin. I mean, it really doesn't have a normal human kind of look. It is a very video gamey kind of likeness, but it screams Joker. It really does. Coming down to look at his suit, you do have a nice fabric tie. The rest of the outfit looks really very nice. You got buttons on there. There's his little corsage. The jacket, you can see purple pinstripe, looks very good. You got some gold buttons on there. There's a couple different buttons here. You got one on the inside here that does attach to his vest. I have that loose because one other thing is there is a wire inside there, so you can kind of flex that around a little. On the opposite side, I do have the button that's still attached. The rest of his shirt is attached via buttons, and then you look down here in the bottom and you got all this really nice painted blood splatter. It does look really very good on there, and you can see dirty brown. I mean, like, the whole costume is kind of dirty looking. You see his kind of copper colored belt buckle with like the Joker's head on there. Nice gold chain. Does that have anything in there? Does that come out? What is that? No, that's not really. Oh, that's just actually attached to his pants. So do be careful. Don't take that out. But you got a nice metal chain right on there. Come around looking at his sleeves. Again, the pinstriping comes down. You got a little section right here. It is attached, I want to say. I don't think it's actually two. I mean, I guess it could potentially be two separate sections, but you have that same yellow section from the vest that comes down there. You got his gloves. You can kind of even see his skin underneath there, very pale looking, which you would imagine him to be. Like, this is probably just paint on the character, so that's probably what they did, but either way, it doesn't matter. You got the little fins here on the back. You have some what is kind of like faux leather up here in the top. You got a little leather strap going around the back as well. Pants look very nice. Again, very dirty looking and kind of patchy, as you can see with the little patch on there. But you got some like dirt and everything in the crotch area. The whole outfit looks great. It's classy, like you would expect the Joker to have. I mean, you would expect him to wear something like this, but it's dirty, it's bloody, it's dank, which you would expect also. You come down to the, and this is kind of like a vinyl sort of material, which does feel very nice. And then you look at his shoes, and I absolutely love these. You have those little strap bits right here that come around here. That's usually done to keep the pants tight to the leg when you're wearing it. And then you see very nice purple metallic coloring on the top of his dress shoes, with some black, tips, and then you can see that the heels themselves are kind of a brownish color. So overall, terrific detail on here, very beautifully recreated. Again, you got like little gold buttons throughout the entire thing. Just overall, very impressed with the presence of this. I never got any of the other Batmans. It just never really appealed to me that much, but the Joker did, and I'm not let down whatsoever. For the glasses, just to show that off here a little bit, they kind of just hook on to his ears. Create that goofy kind of look, which it is what it is. It's a look for him, but overall, a terrific look for him. First articulation, the neck joint down here is what is on the ball joint, so you can get it pivoting, looking left and right, up and down, all that kind of stuff. Shoulders move in and out. There is that butterfly joint as well. You do have to be careful when you're rotating it, because that, as you can see, when you pull it, will pop that back. So you may not necessarily want to attach that on there, because that could potentially damage it, but I wanted to show that when you move it, that range of motion is a little bit restricted if it's attached. Moving forward can be a little bit tricky. You do have to rotate his shoulder bits to get it to move forward and clear all that extra kind of fabric right there. Up, down, rotates at the upper part of the bicep. Does have two joints here at the elbow for a nice range of motion. Come down to the wrists, rotates, and then hinges forward and back, so you can have him shaking hands with people. Come to the torso area. I want to say, does he have, I feel like he's got a joint here and then a lower section. So 2 joints at the torso area. The hips here move forward, or the waist move forward, back, in, out. Well, I guess that would be the hip, that's the waist. Move forward, move back about that far, move outward. There's a little bit of tightness in here, so do be careful when you're doing it. Rotates, yeah, at the upper part of the thigh. He's got 2 bends here at the knee. Doesn't wear socks, so be aware of that. You bring that back down, and then you have a nice ball joint at the foot, so you can move it in and out like so, forward and back. So all the articulation that you would imagine him having, he does have. But again, do be careful when you're trying to flex it around. I think it's probably a little bit better to leave that detached, and then maybe use the magnet, or not the magnet, the little wire frame on the inside to kind of keep that a little bit tighter to the body. But as it is, good level of articulation, everything that you would expect in them, and just in general, very cool looking. I love the Joker. This is, like I said, a classic representation of him. Mark Hamill nailed it. The story was amazing, and the look is really good. And Hot Toys nailed it, I feel, perfectly. Overall, though, an absolutely gorgeous representation of the Joker from Arkham Asylum. I'm not a very big gamer, but I was enthralled by the story in Arkham Asylum and Arkham City. And a lot of it had to do with what Mark Hamill and even what Kevin Conroy was able to bring to it. And I think that really helped to sell the product. I mean, those games won awards, and rightly so. And because of the love for those games, these characters and the way they look really hit a nerve with collectors. I know myself, as well as a lot of them out there, love the way that this Joker looks. And it instantly brings us back to that game. And ultimately, that's what collecting a lot of these figures is all about. Our connection to those characters. And we really do rely on Hot Toys to give us, wonderful recreations of them. And in this case, they did. The portrait, the tailoring, the way that the outfit has been kind of dirtied up looks amazing. The accessories that he comes with are pretty good. I would say I would have liked to have gotten several other of those chattering teeth, because that was really a big part of the game as well. But I'm happy with what we got. If you're a fan of the Joker, if you're a fan of the Arkham Asylum video game, this is definitely one that I would recommend. So, all that being said, if the Arkham Asylum version of the Joker is a figure that you'd like to add to your collection, he is available right now at Sideshow Collectibles. So all you have to do for that is click on the link down in the video description. You'll go to Sideshow, where you can check out availability on this guy, as well as the rest of the wide range of Hot Toys figures. But beyond that, guys, that's about it. Once again, this has been Optibotimus saying that if you like this video, I would really appreciate you letting me know by hitting that thumbs up button. It actually does go a long way towards helping me out, and I would really appreciate it. Also, if you're new here, welcome. And before you go, make sure you subscribe in case you haven't already subscribed. That way you'll get instant email notifications whenever I upload a new video, and you'll never miss out on a future review of mine. Or hey, if you're already subscribed, now more than ever it's important to make sure that you're getting those email notifications. We all know just how unreliable that YouTube subscription box is, and the best way to help support my channel and not miss any future reviews of mine is to click on that little bell right below this video and double check your settings to make sure that they're set so that you get those email notifications. And a very special thanks if you made it all the way to the end of this video. Another way that you can really help support my channel is making sure that you watch a video all the way through. And if you did that, thank you. And finally, remember, the real trouble with the world is too many people grow up. Thank you for watching and taking the time to be a kid.